Okay, this video is to help you be able to work through the answers on this worksheet, the graphs versus velocity versus acceleration practice, front and back. Okay, I personally recommend going through the other graphing videos, PowerPoints, first, and then try to do this on your own. Sincerely try to do this on your own. If you can't, or if you need to make sure, just confirmation that you got the right answers, then you come to this PowerPoint. Okay? Alright, here we go. So, with the displacement versus time graphs, which is the front side of the worksheet. Displacement versus time, 3 graphs. Okay? Here's your helpful hints. The reference point is where displacement is equal to 0. Your slope is equal to the velocity, and if there is no slope or a 0 slope, that means you are at rest. Okay, first graph. Look at it carefully. Here's the answer. So we're starting in negative position, at rest for a moment, moving with a slow, constant velocity in the positive direction. We're going to pass the reference point, keep going for a moment, and then stop and stay at rest in a positive position. This should look familiar. We did this exact same graph in the practice PowerPoint. Second graph. Start at the reference point, move with a fast constant velocity, alright, in the positive direction, instantaneously turn around and move the negative direction with a slower constant velocity back to the reference point, and then stop and stay at the reference point. Third graph. Start at a negative position at rest for a moment. Then accelerate in the positive direction. Remember, acceleration in a displacement versus time graph is curved. Which direction does it curve? Well, accelerate, the slope is going to get steeper and steeper. When you reach the reference point, you're going to decelerate to a stop. Okay, so now it's going to curve the other direction once you pass the reference point. And then stay at rest in a positive position. There you go. Now, backside of the worksheet. 3 velocity versus time graphs. Okay? Helpful hints for velocity versus time graph. There is no reference point. The velocity is equal to 0. That happens at rest. Okay? So down here, when the velocity is equal to 0, so anywhere along here, the object is at rest. Alright, and the slope is equal to the acceleration, and if there is no slope, or horizontal, that's a constant velocity. Okay, so fourth graph. Start at a fast constant velocity, decelerate quickly to a slow constant velocity. Alright, so there's relative velocities. Fast constant velocity, decelerate quickly to a slow constant velocity. There you go. Fifth graph. Start at a fast constant velocity again. You're going to decelerate very quickly to a stop. Okay, so your fast constant velocity. Decelerate very quickly to a stop. Stay at rest, stopped for a moment, and then slowly accelerate. There you go. Last graph. Start with a slow, constant velocity. Decelerate fast to a stop. And then accelerate slowly to a faster constant velocity. Okay? So there you go. That's the worksheet.